What would you do if I told you that you have a 97% chance of failing when it comes to your physique goals? Now, I'm not saying this to be mean or disheartening in any way, shape or form, but if you just look at the stats, the facts and the figures, these are where things are at. 3% of people and 3% of people only are successful when it comes to changing the way that they look, upgrading their health, and really achieving an incredible body transformation, which lasts longer than just a few weeks. Now, I don't know about you, but looking at those stats, they're pretty grim. And honestly, it means that within that first year where someone's tried to change their body shape, get more muscular, get leaner, whatever it may be, they will end up at the exact same body fat percentage or weight within that first year, or if not with added interest, and actually be heavier than when they started the process. Now, if you are new to me and my channel, my name is Sharif Lawton, coaching high performing men and women in their 30s and their 40s to an absolutely incredible physique upgrade in a way which complements rather than complicates their busy life. I have now been at the helm of over 100 different men and women, their transformations, to really make sure that they're part of the 3% who get a result for life rather than just the fancy before and after picture. And the way in which we do things inside 23 Lean is very, very different to your bog standard fitness program, which just focuses on the 1 hour in which you might be in the gym. Now, the reason why I'm hitting you with that stat, that fact, that figure, and it's a bit dark and depressing, is basically because I don't want you to be a stat. I don't want you to be one of the 97% who never reach their goals. And the reason why I'm putting this out now is because we're approaching January. Before you know it, Christmas will have come, into the new year, and we'll be into January. And that is typically the time when people really try and reinvent themselves. They take stock of where things have been at, with their standards, their habits, their routines, their body shape, their self-image. And oftentimes they'll do things to try and change that, and the New Year's resolutions kick in and what have you. Now, if you are gonna be part of that 3%, as I say, you're gonna have to do things very differently in order to get a different outcome compared to what most people do. Because you don't wanna be like most people. You don't just wanna blast yourself into the ground with super strenuous HIIT cardio, which ramps up your cortisol even more, leaving you super stressed out, and eat boring, bland chicken, broccoli, and plain rice to make sure that you achieve your goals, but then you're just left with a massive rebound on the back end and ultimately are ready for an almighty binge. You want to avoid that scenario completely. So what I have found after coaching hundreds and hundreds of men and women, like I say, in their 30s and their 40s, is the ones that do really well. Like, I'm not just talking about a bit more muscle, a bit less body fat, a bit more confidence. I'm talking about the ones who literally change their whole life and step into the upgraded identity and version of themselves. They've always got a deep-rooted reason why this journey is even important to them in the first place. And don't get me wrong, a beach holiday, a wedding, an event, that's all well and good, but oftentimes it lacks the depth to really transform your life once and for all. So that is step number one. Really have a vision, a mission, and a purpose behind what it is that you're trying to do and how it's gonna actually improve your life. You know, I get inquiries all the time about men and women wanting to change their body shape, get leaner, fitter, faster, stronger, more toned, more developed, whatever it may be. But I'm often asking why? Like, why do you actually want that? Is it gonna give you self-confidence in the bedroom? Is it gonna give you self-confidence when it comes to your social circle? Maybe the ability to find a partner, maybe just how you show up on a day-to-day in the office or at home with the kids and what have you. But you really need to get clear on what this fitness journey is actually going to bring to you and how it's going to upgrade your life. Because if you don't do that, the thing which happens is people run out of vision, they run out of room, they run out of the ability to see where they're going. And ultimately they become one of these people that gain and lose the same 5 kilos over and over and over again and become one of these yo-yo dieters. Now, the way in which we try and avoid that situation entirely inside 23 Lean is to give our clients a crystal clear roadmap and a vision as to what phase they're in, how that now leads into the next phase, and where they're at now and where they're headed. Because if you run out of room, if you run out of vision, when the rubber hits the road and the going gets tough, you're really gonna struggle to stay on point with your nutrition. You're really gonna struggle to manage your stress appropriately. You're gonna struggle to get to bed on time and get the adequate sleep, rest, and recovery in which you need to develop an incredible physique, let alone make good decisions when it comes to food, alcohol, mindset, weekends, holidays, the all or nothing style thinking, and all the other things which typically throw people off course. Now, in this short video, what I'm gonna do is actually share with you this roadmap and this vision which I have for each and every one of my clients, which is part of the reason why we have such a good track record and these incredible results across the board for the long term. Now, what we do is when we start with a client inside 23 Lean, we set the foundations and we really make sure that the base is there when it comes to where are they at with their current standards, habits, routines, behaviors. What does a typical day look like for them? When are they more likely to potentially go off track? Is it the evenings? Is it the weekends? Is it around a certain family member or a certain social group? What are the things which are likely going to be able to trip them up? Is it the wine on the weekends? Is it the takeaways? Is it the stress and emotional eating? We tend to take a look at that to make sure we're plugging those gaps quickly and effectively to set the tone for an incredible transformation. This is all about me and the client finding out more about them, what makes them tick, and making sure that the baseline is set when it comes to sleep, recovery, training, nutrition, and mindset. From there, once those foundations have been set, we quickly get into the chisel phase, which is pretty much what we are known for inside 23 Lean. The ability to pull body fat off someone, get them into the shape of their lives, pull back body fat percentage, and really get them lean, toned, and in a position whereby they are healthy. If they were to take blood markers at this point in terms of cholesterol, blood pressure, heart rate, resting heart rate, all that good stuff, we would see marked improvements at the end of this process. And typically for most guys, that looks like anywhere from 10 to 12% body fat. And for my females, pretty much double this amount. And that's the position whereby they are ready for the next phase, which is always going to be a build phase, whereby we look to ramp up metabolic capacity, we look to ramp up training volume, we look to ramp up the client's ability to handle carbohydrates and food in general. And we really make that switch from physique perform to perform physique. And we make sure the body is not just an ornament, but it's actually an instrument, and we get to use it effectively. Training changes, and we make sure that we are now in a position to slap on tissue onto that person's frame in a way which makes them feel incredible within their clothes and also indeed with their clothes off. Then we go into the next build phase, or the strength phase, where we actually look at getting that client pretty strong. We look at different movements, different compound exercises, and make sure that as a percentage of their total body weight, they're able to lift some serious loads with exercises such as your squats, your chins, your dips, your presses, all the big bang for your buck compound movements. So we're actually a useful human and not just something or someone who simply looks good. And then lastly, we transition into flow, whereby basically we solidify everything that we've done, and we are able to be away from the 97% of people who just revert back to where they started and be part of the 3% club who are able to transition to keep these results for life. Because what is the point in a result in which you don't actually get to keep? And my mission and vision for each and every one of my coaching clients after they have finished the program is to make sure that they have full autonomy over exactly what levers to pull when it comes to training, nutrition, lifestyle, habits, all that good stuff, so that they are in full command and control when it comes to changing the way that they look. They know how to build muscle effectively, they know how to burn fat effectively, and essentially they are now in a position whereby they've boxed this off for life. Now, if you would like a hand in implementing this step-by-step roadmap and process so that you don't be part of the 97% which basically run out of room and run out of vision, end up losing the same 5 to 10 kilos over and over again in a yo-yo style, and actually want to progress to the next step and stage and deal with bigger and better problems, finally boxing off this area once and for all in your life, just go ahead and book a call with me literally below. Tap the link and we'll have a chat just to see if I can find out a bit more about you and if I can indeed help you move your situation forward. If it's a great fit, we can talk about the coaching, but if not, you're going to come away with a plan in which you can ultimately implement for yourself and basically plug in the gaps with your fitness and your fat loss, which is exactly what I do on a day-to-day basis. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you very much for watching. In a bit, take care.